Hey everybody, welcome back to Review a Day. My name is Leland and thank you so much for coming back. Check back, I'm going to be throwing up some reviews in the next couple days. I'm going to be talking about The Fighter, and I also went and saw Tron, which everyone is talking about, so check back for my reviews of that and I'll let you know what I thought. But the movie I want to talk about right now is the new flick from Darren Aronofsky, Black Swan. Darren Aronofsky, the director behind Requiem for a Dream, a movie that is horrifying to watch, but really great. The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, one of my favorite movies of the last couple of years. A really great and pretty audacious director. And he's got this new flick, Black Swan, which stars Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis, Vincent Cassel, and Barbara Hershey. Natalie Portman plays this really virgin, sweet dancer who lives in New York City with her mom. She's a ballerina dancer. She and her mom have kind of a weird relationship. They're a little too close. Her mom's played by Barbara Hershey. She seems a little bit insane, but they're a little too close. And Natalie Portman is auditioning for a production of Swan Lake, and she gets cast as the lead, and she has to play the White Swan and the Black Swan. But Natalie Portman's dancing, it's a little too perfect, you guys. She's not sexual enough. She's got to give us her Black Swan, and she doesn't have much to give. And she kind of starts falling for the guy who's directing the ballet, the owner of it, who's played by Vincent Cassel, who's this really he's kind of a pompous asshole, and he always is boning the dancers. Winona Ryder is the aging ballerina who's on her way out and who's boning them. There's this new dancer from the West Coast played by Mila Kunis, and she's kind of everything Natalie Portman is, and her dancing's very sexual. She's got a wild card style. She's a really great dancer, and she's kind of moving in on Natalie Portman's role. And Natalie Portman, about halfway through this movie, everything kind of starts getting to her. All of this pressure, all the paranoia, all these frenemies she has. She really can't trust anyone, and things start to go a little bit crazy, and the movie kind of unwinds into this descend into madness. It reminded me a lot of the Roman Polanski film Repulsion. Roman Polanski, the guy did some fucked up whatever, but he knows how to direct a flick, and The Ghost Rider was one of my favorite movies of this year, which I highly recommend. But Black Swan is, I think Black Swan is easily one of the best films of the year. I think you're going to be hard pressed to find something that's this good. And I think one of the best things about this film is Natalie Portman front and center. By the end of this movie, Natalie Portman, I like Natalie Portman. Beautiful girl, she's adorable. She's a really cute actress, and she always has this, she's just really sweet and charming on camera, and she really has always pulled me in. But here, I think she shows a side of herself that I like. That I like a little bit more than what we've been getting. You know, the first half of this movie, Natalie is playing her really sweet, innocent version, and I'm not sure I totally bought the entire thing. It was a little over the top how demure she was. I was like, this girl's a goddamn prima ballerina. Like, she'd have a little bit of nuts. Like, she would know what she was up to. But by the end, Natalie Portman's performance goes really dark, and I found it to be pretty captivating. That aside, I do think that there's some dialogue in this movie there's some real clunkers in there. I think a lot of them come from Vincent Cassel, where he just has a lot of, he's a very passionate man, and he's French, and he's always saying, you know, you need to give in to your passions, and you need to express yourself and give in to your sexual, and it's a little bit cheesy, and he's talking about Winona Ryder's character one time, and she kind of attempts suicide. She jumps in front of a car, and he's talking about Winona Ryder's character, and he says, he goes, oh yes, it's what makes her so exciting to watch. She is dangerous. Like, oh, I get it. Like, he's a very passionate, artistic person, and it's just a little bit funny. There's also some CG effects that I definitely could have done without, but I think that Darren Aronofsky, he directs the shit out of this movie, and his movies, they're very visceral. There's something very, there's an energy about all of his films. You know, they come up, I think, in the scene in The Wrestler, the hardcore wrestling match. I feel the same kind of horror, just that ugly pit in my stomach. Requiem for a Dream, the final 10 minutes of that, they really do kind of make you nauseous. This movie did not make me nauseous. I really did enjoy it a lot, and I really do recommend people go check this movie out. I give the Black Swan a 4 out of 5. Natalie Portman, you go, girl. Head over to nitpicket.com, dabracast.com. Check out the podcast I do. We'll see you guys next time.